Hey everyone. It's been a little bit, but I just wanted to create a intro video so you get to know me a little bit more. I know I've been away from the channel for quite a few months. Life has been crazy, as I'm sure it has been for a lot of you as well. That's just life. But I'm back. I'm still training for Olympic trials. I still have the same goal. I had to take a little bit of time away from training. That's why you didn't see me for a little bit, but I'm back. I'm running lots of miles. I'm excited for the New York City Marathon later this year. That has been the number one race on my bucket list for many years, and it's going to be my first major. I'm super excited about that. And not only first major, my first marathon since 2019, and only my second ever marathon. So it's a pretty great race to be the first major. So I'm super excited about that. That's the A goal for the year. That's what I'm training for. But still, the primary focus is on 2028 Olympic trials. So while I'm training for the New York City Marathon, I'm still keeping my focus and my training working towards 2028. So anyways, I'm super excited. I'm going to stop blabbering about that. But what I wanted to do, since it's been a little bit of time, and because I never did one at the beginning, which was dumb, but I wanted to introduce myself a little bit. I want to do a proper introductory video. I'm going to keep it brief though. And really, I'm going to focus, since this is a running channel, I want to focus on my running journey, okay? But before I do that, I wanted to define myself just a little bit so you know who I am. So first, I would say, first and foremost, I am a Christian. I'm a follower of Jesus, and that is my primary purpose in life. Second to that, I am a husband to an incredible, beautiful, awesome, supportive wife who I love dearly. And third, I am a father to two amazing, incredible kids, 2 and 4 years old. I have a son and a daughter. I love them both dearly. As my profession, I am a coach. I have been coaching for almost 20 years. Yes, I started when I was a teenager. Yes, I'll talk about my coaching journey later. But right now, I just want you to know that I've been coaching for a very long time. I love it. I love my clients. I love helping people get healthier and stronger and more fit and move better and eat healthier and run faster and anything that just improves their quality of life. And then obviously, I am a runner as well. And I have had a very non-traditional, strange relationship with running, but I would fully define myself as a runner. So that's a little bit about myself. And so, like I said, this is a running channel, so I wanted to focus on my running journey. And so that's what I'm going to take just a few minutes to do. I'm going to give you the bird's eye view. I don't know what this but bird's eye, I guess. Yeah, bird's eye view of my running journey. So growing up, I was someone who was always outside, always playing with my friends outside, just running around. I was heavily involved with sports. I tried a few different sports, but my primary sport that I played was baseball, and that was my life growing up. We were a baseball and softball family. So I played that very extensively growing up, and the intention was to get a college scholarship for baseball. And then I got pretty burnt out by my junior year of high school, and so I decided to take the fall off of my junior year from baseball. And I always knew that I love running. Sometimes I just randomly go for runs and just loved it. And sometimes when I was a kid, I was so hyper. My mom was like, "You need to get energy out. Go outside and run around the house." And guess what? I loved. I was like, "All right, sweet, I'll do that." So I went and ran around the house. So I always knew I loved running. So I wanted to, just take a little bit of time away from baseball. I wanted to stay in shape. for baseball. So I was like, oh, I'll just give this running thing a go. And then found out that I guess I had a little bit of talent at it, and was encouraged by my coach and colleagues to not give that up. And so it was a very difficult decision because, like I said, everything in my life to this point was trying to get a baseball athletic scholarship. And so I had to make the hard decision to leave that behind and pursue this running thing, that even though it was brand new to me, because I felt that I had more of a chance to get that athletic scholarship in running than I did in baseball. And so I switched to running, and saw some pretty good success my junior year and senior year. Won cross country state championship my senior year in Virginia for private schools, and then I got a Division I athletic scholarship to run at Charleston Southern University, which I ran for a year. And that was cut short because starting in my senior year of high school, I started to develop some eating disorder tendencies driven around the fact that I thought that I had to be this super lean beanpole person that I saw these really fast people running. I was like, oh, if I want to be fast, I gotta get super small like them. And so that started to develop some eating disorder tendencies for me. And by the end of my senior year, going into my freshman year of college, it was pretty full blown. And so then that started, not only was that unhealthy mentally, and not only was I struggling with that immensely, but I wasn't healthy at all. I was constantly injured. And if I wasn't injured, then I was sick. Basically, my whole freshman year of college, I was either injured or sick, and I had very few weeks of that not being the case. And so I had a stress fracture. I had some Achilles problems, some plantar problems. I was constantly sick during the winter time. But even through that, I had to take cross country off, but then I ran indoor and outdoor track, had some decent success, got some points for the team, I guess my highlight time of the year was an 8:35 3K. So that was my freshman year, and I had every intention to go back my sophomore year. But then again, that summer, I was riddled by injuries again, still struggling with eating disorder. And so I ultimately decided to not go back. I thought it was the best thing for me, in my health. I just thought it was the best thing for me at the time. And so I decided to give up my athletic scholarship, stay home, still go to school. So I enrolled in a local community college. I still ran a little bit here and there. Well, I trained for 6 months or so, pretty seriously, never raced, but trained as much as I could, as much as my body could. And then I eventually made the decision, like, all right, I'm not going to beat this eating disorder if I don't stop running. So I made a decision to stop running completely, and I didn't run again for 6 years after that. So after I decided to take some time away from running, I took up bodybuilding. And I did that because I needed to gain some weight. One, and two, I wanted to do something. And three, it was the perfect time for a bulk. I was coming off of 2.5, 3 years of running. And I needed to get my body back into a healthier place. And so I took up bodybuilding, did that for about 3 years. I put on about 25 pounds of lean muscle. And then I started to get the itch for some performance-based things again. So I took up powerlifting, and I actually did a powerlifting meet. Not many runners, I don't think, have done powerlifting meets. It's completely opposite end of the spectrum. But I saw some decent success. Got pretty strong. Deadlifted 3 times my body weight, squatted 2.5 times my body weight, and double body weight bench press. And those were big benchmarks that I was pushing hard for. And I hit those. And then right about the time I hit those, I guess when you're pushing your body to the limits, sometimes you take a risk. And so anyways, I herniated 2 discs in my low back on a warm-up set of deadlifts. And so I was forced to, take a step back from powerlifting. And so then I spent the next year kind of rehabbing that. And one of the things that I could do at the end of that rehab was run. And so I could run pretty much pain-free. And so I, started to run slowly. And I was like, ooh, I love this. I have missed this. And so that was 6 years removed from when I stopped running initially. And so that was the end of 2017. And so then at the beginning of 2018, I started to think, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this running thing. I want to keep going with this. I think I can do it from a much healthier place this time. I've spent the last 6 years kind of rewiring my nutritional habits and my thoughts around nutrition. And so, I was pretty confident, and I talked to my wife, and she was going to be a strong support for me. And if there was any indication that I was going to slip back into those old ways, that I would give up running. So anyways, I thought it would be a good time because I had been, like I said, lifting for like 6 years. I was like, I'm somewhat strong. I enjoy this running thing. I'm going to try my hand in some obstacle course racing. So that was the plan heading into 2018. And then I was like, well, I need to get in shape first running, so then I decided to start running more. And then I started getting on the trails because that's what obstacle course racing is. And then I started falling in love with trail running. And then I started dreaming about trail races. And then so I spent 2018 running trails, 2018 and 2019, running trails. Had some decent success. 2019, I randomly hopped into a marathon. This is the only sole marathon I've ever run in my life. I just kind of like on a whim, like 3 weeks before, I was like, I'm going to go run this local marathon. And so no specific training or anything, just went out there and ran 2:27, which I thought, was good for just kind of hopping in. And one of my primary goals running in my life, not one of my primaries, the primary goal for my running career has always been making the Olympic marathon trials. And going into the obstacle course, trail running season that I was in, I went in with the intention, I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this period of time as a transition, build a really great base, and then I'm going to start training for the Olympic marathon trials for 2024. And then obviously that never happened. And so, but anyways, 2018, 2019, I, was running trail races, running ultras, just enjoying running. And that was an awesome time, in my life. And then 2020, we all know what happened. All of us faced COVID, a life-changing thing for a lot of us. And then that kind of got me sidetracked. And I started, started to lift a little bit more again. And since 2020, I've only raced 3 times. Since the end of 2019, I've only raced 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. And one of those times was in 2022. I kind of hopped into a half marathon again with like 3-ish months of prep. So decent prep time, but ran 1:07:05 for that race. And basically since 2020, I've just spent like, it could be 3 or 4 months. It could be 6 months. I've spent a period of time ping-ponging back and forth between running and lifting, back and forth. I run for a while, get in decent shape, never race. Then I start to, feel the itch to lift again, because that's been a big part of my fitness journey. And so then I start to lift, and I like feeling strong, and then I, start training hard on the lifting side again and just completely neglect running. And then I will go back, I'm like, I love running. I want to go back to running. And so then I'll go back to running, and then I'll not completely, I'm always lifting to some degree. But then I'll pretty much neglect lifting and then run. And so anyways, since 2020, I've just been ping-ponging back and forth just like that on running, lifting, running, lifting, running, lifting. So I've only raced a few times. But I'm finally, I know I've said this before, but I believe I'm finally at the place where I'm 100% committed to running. And a big part of that is because I'm 33, I'm turning 34 this year. All right. So age, I don't have any time to kind of mess around anymore if I'm serious about getting to Olympic trials. And so, yeah, I'm ready. I'm dedicated. I've been running lots of miles. I missed the 2024 Olympic trials, but I'm not going to miss the 2028 Olympic trials. And so the goal is to be there, and the goal is to compete to the best of my ability. And where that is, I don't know. Because I do know that I've never committed more than 3 years in a row to running. So to my last 2 years of high school and first year of college, I ran seriously. Then so that was 3 years committed to running. And then I took 6 years off. And then I ran 2018, 2019. So that's 2 years. And then for the next 5 years, I've been just kind of ping-ponging back and forth. So I've never stretched more than 3 years in a row, run training. Even though I have this big base of fitness, I've always done something on the fitness side, whether it's lifting or running or just being active. I've never not been active. So I have this huge base of fitness, but I've never specifically trained for running more than 3 years. And not only that, I've never specifically trained for the marathon ever. And so, I'm excited to see, what my potential is. I'm excited to see what my limits are. I want to explore those limits, and I'm going to push my body as much as I can for the 2028 and the 2032. I would like to be at the 2032 Olympic trials as well, even when I'm 40. And I think that the 2032 Olympic trials will be my better Olympic trials, because I'll have 7 years stretched at that point of consistent training specifically for the marathon. And so I'm excited for that, but I'm going all in. I'm going to push my body to the limits, and I'm going to show you the whole entire journey. I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you the triumphs and the struggles and the not only just the physical, the mental, the nutrition. I'll show you my journey. There's 3 things that I would say about the Olympic trials. Not only do I want to and believe I can, but I have this gut feeling that I should. And then number 3, like I said, I've never been committed to this running thing for more than a few years, and I feel like I have a lot of potential on the table, and I have a lot of experience in run training, in strength training, and just general human performance. And I've studied training extensively from all different angles for the last 20 years. And I've coached a lot of people and gained a lot of experience with that. And so I feel like I can put it all together, and I have, like I said, a lot on the table left to give, physically, physiologically, and psychologically. I feel like I don't have as many miles behind me as a lot of runners. I don't have as many years of grinding through run training specifically as a lot of runners. And so although I might be a little bit older, my run training age, not my fitness age, overall training age, but my run training age is still young. And so I feel like I have a lot left, and I feel good. My body feels good. And because I have all of this strength training behind me and all these years of just this ginormous fitness base behind me, I'm structurally strong. I can handle quite a bit of volume. Like right now I've been hitting some 115, 120 mile weeks and I feel good. And I plan to go up from there. And so anyways, I feel like I have a lot left on the table. And so that gets me super, super excited. And I'm just ready to explore my limits, and I'm excited to use this gift that's been given to me to hopefully inspire you, and whatever is your gifting, whatever you are hoping to pursue, to give your best. Steve Prefontaine's famous quote, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I'm a big believer in that. And I believe that whatever you do to work at it with all of your heart, whatever you do your best in it. And so I hope that showing you this process, showing you my training, nutrition, the ups, the downs, the triumphs, the trials, showing you all of that, I hope that it helps you in your journey. It helps you in some way push through when things seem to be stacked up against you, or to push through when things are hard, or to give your best in moments when it's difficult. And so that's my hopes in sharing this journey with you. And so I'm super excited. I'm super excited to do this with you. And so, I'm going to be more consistent about posting. I promise that. And I just want to get to know your journey and how I can help you in any way possible. Let me know. So I'm excited, guys. Let's go. Primary goal for this year, 2025 New York City Marathon. What's your big goal for the year?